I'm Ann Cuba. I'm the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish Central and Northern Florida, and I have the honor today of being with Dave Peckham, who's with Synergy Wealth Alliance, and has also been a longtime supporter and board member of our organization. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Living the dream.
I love it, I love it. So tell me, you're reaching 12 years this year on the board, which is unbelievable. That's 12 years of your life that you've committed and devoted to being on our board, which involves a lot of time, talent, and treasure. Can you kind of big picture give me an idea of what that experience has been like for you?
It's been wonderful overall. It's been a learning experience. It started out with a horse wish that scared me to death because it was not what I was expecting on a first board meeting, but it has turned into so much joy, and I've met so many wonderful people, met so many wonderful wish kids. I've seen so many wishes granted. We've come up against obstacles over the years, and we've beat them all. I feel very fulfilled over these past years.
Well, we can't do it without members like you in our community that decide to commit this time to our organization. We talk about this a lot, that our volunteers and board members, not only do you have your personal responsibilities and your professional responsibilities, and outside of all of that, you have 3 kids, a family,
I do.
And so outside of your own business, outside of all of that, you commit to helping our organization, helping our mission, grant more wishes of kids in our local community. So we're just so thankful that you commit that time, talent, and treasure to us. Why do you do it? What inspires you to keep on going in the 12 years? Life gets busy. There's always something that comes up from a personal and professional standpoint, but yet you're always there. You always pick up the phone when we call, or always email us back when we need something. What inspires you to keep on doing that?
Really, my parents ingrained it in all of us that if you're not giving back, you're giving up. So it's important, to me at least, in my business, without a strong community around me, my business will fail. So I think the most important part of a community is children, and what better way to support a community's children than with Make-A-Wish. This is one of the strongest names in the charity world, and it's got the strongest mission that I can think of, so why not?
I love that. Why not? So Dave, you've not only been a board member, Dave's been a wish granter, one of our volunteers who meets hands-on with our wish kids. You recently embarked on a walk challenge, a mile a day? Or
yeah,
can you talk a little bit about that experience? Because the reason why I want to highlight that is it's the little, big and small things, that make a difference. It's not just the huge check that an organization can give or that an individual might be able to give to us to help us grant more wishes. It's through things like, not that this is a small thing, but walking, and to be able to support Make-A-Wish and tell people about our mission. So can you describe that personal experience?
Sure. On the Make-A-Wish page, we had a walk for 30 miles in 30 days challenge. And it was to raise, I think, a couple $100. And I said, well, we can do that, but we'll raise $2,000 and we'll do 60 miles in 30 days. Within probably 2 weeks, I found that I reached the $2,000 goal, but people were really excited about the comments and very encouraging about the walking. So we continued it on for a couple of months. And what I found was it not only continued on with other people donating to Make-A-Wish, but it greatly increased my health. So that part was fantastic. My doctor, when I got my blood redrawn, all 6 of my important numbers were incredibly better. As a matter of fact, he said, "I'm not even sure this is your blood." So I said, "Okay, this is great." So everything happens for a reason. But
awesome.
I was
so
very pleased with it.
Win-win there.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I continued walking, but I'm not posting about it anymore. And every once in a while, I'll get a phone call or a text going, "Wait, why aren't you walking anymore?" I said, no, I'm just not posting about it anymore. So people, they enjoyed it.
I love that. And again, just a testament to little and small things and how an individual can give back. Something as simple as posting and walking and sharing the mission to get people to really get on board and get engaged. Dave, you were sharing a little bit about some of your personal connections and being a wish granter with our organization, and that involves really being hands-on with our wish kids. Can you talk about some of your favorite moments over the years? And we're going to touch on Armand's wish too, but wanted to get that experience from you as well.
One of my very first times being at a wish reveal was actually at a child's backyard playground set. And Sam's Club was actually kind enough to come in and do an install. They donated the playground set, and their employees came in and put it together. And we had the news media there, and the parents were on the back porch. And after a few minutes, we all sat down, and they started to have a conversation. And it was at that moment that I realized how important our mission was to not just the kids, but the entire family, because they needed more things to be excited about. You know, when we think about these types of things being difficult on the child, yes, it's very difficult on the child, but it's difficult on the sibling, it's difficult on the parent. And that sort of thing is very, very touching to me. And it's important that this day was so beautiful for them. This was a time where they got to share this playground set. They got to be out there and play and enjoy this time together and just be kids, be happy and share that time. I loved it, and it hooked me.
I love that. Well, it hooked you so much that not only were you a part of that wish, but you were actually part of granting a child's wish with our organization. And I know that that's been a long-lasting impact to you and to your family. So can you talk about Armand?
Sure.
And Armand's wish.
My all-time favorite wish. It was kind of unique how it happened. We were in a board meeting, and one of the staff came up to me and said, "Dave, we have a unique wish request. We have a child who wants to be mentored in finance." I said, "What does that mean? There's a lot of different ways this can go." She said, "He is a tough nut to crack. Can you just talk to him and kind of feel him out?" I'm sure, give me his number. The very first time I called him, he hung up on me. And okay, so I called him back, and I said, I think we got disconnected. He said, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." So we started talking and came to the conclusion that he wanted to be mentored in finance and investments. He wanted to have a power lunch, and he wanted to learn how to work a room. And I said, "I'm your guy. Let's go out and let's meet and we'll develop your wish." My partners were very, very eager to get involved, and we had a wish day. Then I got some clients involved for a power lunch, and it could not have gone any better. We got together, we Make-A-Wish got them a laptop to do some trading. We opened up a trading account for them. We showed them some techniques in trading. We spent the day with them. Make-A-Wish got him a limo to take his mother and us to a power lunch, and we met with one of my clients. She was a news broadcaster and he was an attorney, and we had what was supposed to be about an hour lunch turned into about a 2.5-hour lunch. They just had a wonderful time, and they still talk to this day. It turned into a lifelong friendship. That was, I guess, about 7 years ago, and I actually talked to Armand last week. From that experience, the Orlando Sentinel picked up the story, and one of the local hedge fund managers saw the story and called me up and said, "Hey, I'd love to meet this young man." So we went to visit him. Armand actually now works for that hedge fund manager. He moved down to Jupiter, and Armand is now moving to Jupiter to work full time for him. So,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
That's so incredible. And we talk a lot because one of the things that we share that we wanted to get out in the community is a wish is not just a day. It's not just a week-long trip. It's not just a moment in the child's life. It really transcends that and can have a transformative impact on a child and their family. And talk about the long-standing, he's part of your family now, and is now working for the company. And so
he's been to Thanksgiving dinner at my mother's house. So actually in the limo ride back from lunch back to my office, his mother said, "Well, he was offered lunch with Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, And he said, no, 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 I want Dave. And I looked at him, I said, we need to work on your critical thinking skills here. And he said, no, no, no. I said, why? He said, well, I'd just have them for half an hour. I've got you for the rest of your life. I said, whoa, I didn't know I signed up for that. But no, I was just teasing. But it really has been a great experience. And quite honestly, I think I've learned as much from him as he's learned from me. It's been a great relationship. And we continue to learn from each other. And we talk quite often. So.
Whether you're a small company, small business owner, or whether you're a large company in the area, why, from your perspective, is it important to give back from a company level and an employee level as well?
There's always competition in the community, all right? And if the community views that competition, and if everything else is equal, why wouldn't they go to the company that supports the community? It's kind of a no-brainer in my mind. And again, going back to what I view the most important part of any community, the children in that community. And what better way to support the children of a community than the sick, all right? Children with a life-threatening illness. The number one way to support them is Make-A-Wish. It's a no-brainer. If you're in a large corporate arena, oftentimes you have gift matching. So the employees, if they're giving $25, their company will match that with another $25. Small companies have that option too. You know, if these small companies had the blessing of making it through COVID unscathed, and they're looking to kind of give back to the community, we're a great option. We need it. You know, the more that is given, the more wishes we can actually fulfill in the local communities.
And one of the important aspects of that is that it's not just monetary support that we as an organization need. You know, obviously that's great, but can you touch on, you have a unique perspective in serving on our board and some of the needs that sometimes come to the board with different types of vendors that we as an organization need. Can you talk about the in-kind aspects?
Oh, absolutely. Some of the more common ones, campers. A lot of kids love to go camping with their family, so campers are a big need. Boats, little fishing boats, that type of thing. Room redos are another big thing. Every kid wants a room redo. Video game systems, whether they be computers or PlayStation or Xbox, those types of things are big items. So if you have a company that produces that type of item and you're able to donate in kind, it's very helpful.
Awesome, thank you for sharing that. And also, even just discounts, whatever it might be, wholesale cost is something that's really helpful to us as an organization.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up here, I wanted to, you know, you're approaching 12 years serving on our board, which is a huge commitment, and we are so appreciative of everything that you've done for us, Dave, from you know, the time that you've devoted on our board, but even before that, you know, you're talking about the casino night and how you started out with the casino night for our organization, and the fact that you've chosen Make-A-Wish every day over the last 12 years and more than that. We are so grateful, and this is a star for you. Let me take it off this, just to present, to say thank you for
Thank you very much.
your support and shining light on our kids and our community, so that we can further advance our mission. And ultimately our vision, as you know, is to grant the wish of every eligible child. And we can't do that without key community members like you. And thanks for shining a light on our community and on our Wish kids.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.